Mars in astrology. Mars is your drive, your initiative. It's the planet of action. It's like to get something done, you must use your Martian energy, and it's ruled by both Scorpio and Aries, and it exalts in Capricorn. So, person with Mars and Aries, those people can be kind of volatile. The Martian energy just travels through it too extremely, and they're just very abrupt. They can be very abrasive. They can be very quick to throw a punch. Um, Mars and Scorpio. Mars does quite well in Scorpio, but they can be they can be over sexual. They get blinded a bit too much by sex. They they can have a thirst for power. Those are things that they would I would recommend balancing if you have Mars and Scorpio. It exalts in Capricorn, and it works really well in Capricorn because if you've Mars in Capricorn, you kind of approach the world slowly and carefully, and you make good gains over time. So your actions, you gain well from your actions. You get good status from your actions. Um, and you don't overly act. You apply just the right amount of action that's needed, and you don't overact, you don't underact. Mars is also it's a functional malefic in that sometimes when bad things happen, like if something's going over your natal Mars or Mars goes over your natal Saturn, something bad can happen, like a fight. It can be an illness. It depends on how things are aspected and where it appears in your chart. Um, but it rules the eighth house, and that can be it can be sometimes disease and stuff like that. Like if your natal moon, if you had Mars in the eighth house and your moon was traveling over, you'd be more prone to bleeding, but not always. Um, Mars doesn't do so well in Cancer, for example. It's debilitated in Cancer, um, and that's because Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's very emotional. It's sensitive. It cares about feelings and that sort of thing. And when the Martian energy is expressed in this way, um, it you don't really get the full benefits from your Mars. If Mars is being held back by emotions and those kind of things, um, other people with stronger Mars is basically just going to cut in ahead of you, and it's going to be very difficult for you to assert yourself. Like you can have Mars in Cancer and you're trying to express yourself emotionally, um, and then somebody else just cuts in, let's say Mars and Aries, for example, and volatile. And it's not that they can't take action, they can make very good musicians, they can, all sorts of things. People that look after people, like there's are a lot of benefits from having Mars in Cancer. Um, but in regards to other people where there's lots of different types of Martian energy, um, it's kind of got that invisible voice that kind of fall behind a little bit, like people kind of cut in ahead of them, and that's why main reason why Mars doesn't do so well in Cancer.